Sam's Morning Show, 100.7 Sam FM, broadcasting live this morning. You can watch the live studio camera at bowlinggreensam.com. And if you tune in today, you get to see one of my childhood TV icons live in the studio with us. Now, Carrie, you missed the Dukes of Hazzard. She's a little bit younger than I am, Ben.
Yeah.
A little bit. But
except for the reruns.
I was going to say, you never got to see it live, though.
No.
Was it on Friday nights, Ben? Was it
Friday nights, 8 o'clock, CBS.
That's it. The one and only Ben Jones Cooter from the Dukes of Hazzard, live from Cooter Garage. Good morning, Ben. How you doing?
Crazy Cooter coming at you. Y'all got your ears on. I've never lost a touch, you know. I can't believe you're too. See, there you go. You were too young for the Dukes of Hazzard.
Well,
that's time passes. Well, here's what's happened with our show. It was popular.
Yeah.
You know, we started filming in 1978, and the show is still enormously popular here all over the world.
Right.
DVDs is what it's after.
Yeah.
You can only watch it once a week on Friday night.
Right.
These kids now watch it all day long on DVDs. They've learned it by heart. And they think it's a brand new show, which in our business is a good thing.
That is a good thing.
We keep rolling along.
Well, like I said, it is one of the most. Growing up, man. I mean, we played it. We played it in the yard. You know what I mean, with the other kids from the neighborhood. You know, there were days that I was Bo and Luke, and there were days that I was Cooter. But we were out running Roscoe and Cletus and Enos and the whole gang.
The Dukes of Hazzard was to your generation what Gene Autry and Roy Rogers were to my generation. Same thing. They were heroes, and we emulated them. And they always did the right thing. If you ever notice, Duke boys always, or Gene Autry, they always made the right moral choice. You know? They were the good guys, and in those shows, the good guys always won.
Now,
had a lot of action.
You know, and now you carry that with you because, like I said, you were one of the good guys. You were Cooter. Now, do you feel, I mean, even when you're doing that show through your political life after that to where you are now, do you always feel like you're a role model? And do you appreciate, do you value that? I mean, you always felt like you had a value for it?
I think there's a responsibility that comes with that. Yeah, that, you know, you want to behave in a certain way. And kids, you find, you know, a whole generation of people who've taken you into their family, who look up to you, who have certain expectations about the character.
Right.
And you don't want to let them down.
Right.
You know? I mean, it's real easy to be nice to kids. You know what I mean? And it's a rewarding thing, too. So I've gotten the biggest kick out of it. The fans of the show are the best part of it, really. And have kept it going. Generation after generation. And those we need shows like that, and I think that's why the fans have kept it alive.
Right.
And you know, what's not to like? You got fast cars flying through the air, and nobody gets hurt really. Yeah. You got slapstick comedy, you got great country music, and you got Daisy Duke.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now see that's the thing. Daisy Duke for me growing up, like I tell you, Daisy Duke was it on the poster, on the wall, the lunchbox, you name it. Boy, I tell you, that was something else. That was something else.
Make a bulldog break his chain. I tell you
what. How's everybody doing from the show? I mean, like I said, I know you keep up with a lot of them, and
we all keep
Cooter's
up.
Place and everything. What can you tell us about the rest of the guys from the show and girls from the show?
We all keep up. Catherine's fine. She has two beautiful, beautiful daughters, and she still looks great, of course. And
did she just get married? I saw her name in the news recently. What happened?
Well, it was a tragic thing, actually. She lost her husband.
I'm sorry, that's what it was. I'm sorry.
That's been a very difficult thing.
I missed that one.
And you know, we as an extended family, have, you know, really pulling for her and praying for her to help her get through that. It was a very sudden and tragic loss. But she does it. We are kind of a dysfunctional family, but when you work together with people for years like that, for 30 years, and we all keep up. We do. John Schneider has got a new TV show. He's filming in Dallas. It's going to be on cable, in which I think he plays a golf pro.
Nice.
Of course, with Bodie. Tom Wopat's always singing in Broadway musicals. He's really well, both those guys are great singers. Jimmy Best is just got a book out. That's Roscoe Coltrane. He's got a book out and is selling that. And Jimmy, he's up in his 80s now, but I can't keep up.
I remember him on the Andy Griffin Show.
Yeah, yeah.
before Dukes of Hazzard came along. He was the I can't think of his character's name, but he could pick a mean guitar.
Yeah, yeah, he did that. And you know, Denver Powell, who played Uncle Jesse, was also
Yes.
on Andy Griffith's show. He played Mr. Darling,
Yes.
Briscoe Darling, the Darling
Yes.
family. And Sonny Shore, who played Enos, Rick Hurst, who played Cletus. We're all still out there on
Right.
strong, getting together a lot and doing
Yeah.
shows. And it's just like, you know, on television we don't get old. But I'll tell you what.
What was your favorite episode of Dukes of
There's
Hazzard?
so many of them.
I mean, what's one that stands out? Tell us a story about. I mean, something behind the scenes from one of the episodes that folks may remember. Just one that
Well,
you
there
guys.
was the show actually, like, because it had such a great story, is where Cooter has a daughter, no one knows he has a daughter, and she comes back looking for him.
Right.
And it had a great story in it, and that I guess because I played the lead in that
Yeah.
one, was one of my favorites.
Right.
There was a show from the very first season called Repo Man, and
Yeah.
the show was rough. It was much more primitive. We were just starting out.
Right.
We welded spikes on the side of Cooter's old tow truck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just destroyed the entire Dixie Mafia, by dismantling their cars by running the tow truck into it. It was great fun.
Right.
But you know, every day showing up on that set, you know, it was just, as you said, it was like playing in the backyard when you're a kid
Yeah.
and getting paid for it,
Right.
and getting rewarded for
Well,
it.
you're out in the dirt and everything else too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
and that's the thing too. When you're doing the show, late '70s into the '80s, you didn't have the CGI and all the special effects like they do on TV shows now.
What you saw is what you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was
We
real cars
get in
banging.
those
wasn't it?
cars and take off and fly through the air. It was very dangerous work
Yeah.
and very rough work and fun and
Right.
very athletic work, really.
Now, how did the world of stunt doubles and stuff like that work back then, in the '80s, early '80s, late '70s?
Well, we didn't do anything. We started off doing a lot of stunts and a lot of crazy stuff, and as soon as the show became a hit show, we started getting memos saying, you know, the actors.
Right.
Remember, said the actors won't do anything that leaves the ground.
and were you like, okay, I'm good with that, or you're like, come
we
on?
still
I
did
wanna
occasionally
fly.
did things that leave the ground, but
Yeah.
but taking off and doing one of those stunts, you know, 200 feet through the air
Right.
in a very large automobile can be, you know, people get killed in that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very dangerous work.
And they were large, heavy
Yeah,
automobiles.
yeah, and we set world record land-to-land jumps on that show.
Right.
A couple hundred feet, 240, 250 feet
How
in the
many,
air.
how many General Lees you think you went through?
Well, I
on
know.
that
We
show?
built 309 of them during the filming of the show. We'd go through about 2 of them every show. We keep, you know, a
Yeah.
nice looking general for the close-ups.
Right.
But most of those cars were just built to be destroyed. They were
Right.
going to be wrecked one way or another.
Right.
There are over 300 of them, but that was nothing compared to what we did to police cars.
Yeah, that was like just the mold. Print them out as fast as
Every
you
time
can.
Roscoe or Enos got in the car, that was it for that one.
Yeah.
More work for Cooter's Garage was
Right.
the way I figured it.
Hey, can you stick around for another segment real quick? Because I want to talk about, speaking of hot rods, speaking of the General Lee, we're getting ready to see a whole boatload of them come through town today.
Today,
Yeah.
3,500 hot rods.
Hang tight. Ben Jones, he played Cooter on the Dukes of Hazzard. We're going to talk about the Holly NHR National Hot Rod Reunion, which is coming up June 18th through the 20th, but they're going to be driving through town today. A bunch of hot rods are going to be passing through. We're going to talk about that as well. A lot of stuff going on right here. It's the Tony Rose Morning Show with one of my favorite TV icons of all time. Cooter is here today, 100.7.